Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today I want to have a conversation about the industry and the way that it has changed, my perspective on it, and what I do as a store, what I think you can do as a player or as a consumer, but also if you own, selling cards on TCG Player or all the other things. So welcome back. Hopefully you're having yourself a good day, and hit the subscribe button and join us along here on the channel. I own Game Grove. It's a card store in West Virginia, if you're not familiar with the channel. What I've noticed over the last couple years, when I used to play Magic and I didn't own a store and I wasn't focused on the business side, nobody had another card game. Nobody played, I think Vanguard was a card game back then. Nobody had a second card game. There were no successful TCGs other than, you had Magic, and then you maybe had some like offspring things that maybe one store carried and nobody really knew anybody who played. And it was kind of like this thing. You played Magic the Gathering and people bought Pokemon cards. That was the world. There was nothing else happening. But here we are in 2024, and it seems like the tides have completely changed. And I don't know if this is Magic's fault. I know the comment section is going to be like, Magic sucks and they've opened the door for all these card games to take the market and whatever. I don't know if that's true, or if just that these other card games have just gotten better and better marketing and the pandemic allowed them to have a jump start, or probably more realistically, it's somewhere in between where Magic the Gathering has given up a foothold and now all these games are coming in and they're done really, really well. But the point is, more than ever today, people are playing multiple card games. At my store, we've got Star Wars Unlimited tonight, and this is absolutely popping up. It is easier for us to get people on a Tuesday night to come and play Star Wars Unlimited. We get more people on a Tuesday night to play Star Wars Unlimited than we do our regular one-on-one formats for Magic the Gathering on a Friday night. Okay, it's wild. Lorcana, on a Saturday morning at noon, we get as many people as we have on Friday Night Magic for our draft that we've been doing for Magic the Gathering for 2 years. We have more people showing up for Lorcana on Saturday morning than Friday Night Magic for draft. Sorcery, you guys know Sorcery. We've done a ton of fun. We just played a 4-player Sorcery game coming out on the channel, hopefully later this week. These are the games that I have chosen because I really like them. Honestly, Star Wars and Lorcana, Sorcery is the one I've chosen because I really like it, but Star Wars and Lorcana, just absolutely, the demand for people walking in the door for me to carry this game is absolutely insane. We had somebody drive down from Ohio, from Cleveland, Ohio, 4-hour drive yesterday trying to buy all of our Star Wars Unlimited. I had to say no. I sold him a case because I'm not selling all my Star Wars Unlimited to somebody from Cleveland because I need it for my own locals and stuff like that. Anyway, the point here is that the industry has changed. Magic, in my opinion, I'm going to get into my opinions now and not tell you facts. In my opinion, because of the focus on Commander for Magic the Gathering, it has opened up this door where it's harder to fire one-on-one formats in Magic the Gathering than it is, the indie, or I guess not indie, but the smaller TCGs that are up and coming. And because Magic has gone so hard into Commander, the width of Magic has grown. I believe Magic is a bigger and not necessarily better. I believe Magic is a bigger card game and has more of the market share today than it did previously. I think it's probably remarkable how much Magic has grown in the last 3 years. The problem is Magic has grown wide and not deep. It is not a card game anymore where you have one-on-one really competitive matches happening all across the LGSs in the country. It has turned into Commander. That is what Magic the Gathering is, Commander. This is why we have just expanded our Commander decks all the way to the top. This used to be draft booster boxes, but now we're just doing Commander decks. Commander decks, Commander decks. My goal is that we have more Commander decks than anybody else. That you're gonna come. Look, this is Magic up there. We just got these in. That's 2017. There's the Dragon up there. Okay, like we've got all the Commander decks now. The point is, people want more Commander. When you think of playing Magic the Gathering, the average consumer no longer thinks of playing one-on-one Magic. When you think of Magic the Gathering, inevitably 9 times out of 10, people are going to say Commander. And that has opened the door for these card games to come in and take over not even the competitive side, but the more, tournament organized side, where you come in and you sit and you actually play in an actual tournament. Whereas Commander, most people are just coming in and hanging out and playing on pods of 4 with their friends, whether they're at an LGS or probably a lot of people at home. So as a business, this has opened up a lot of 2 things. Number one, there's an initial risk in taking a new card game that a lot of people are afraid of. I'm not gonna lie, I was afraid Star Wars Unlimited. I ended up taking the risk because I don't know why. I think it was just because I like Star Wars. I ended up taking the risk and going pretty heavy onto Star Wars Unlimited, simply because one of my employees was like, hey, I'm really interested in this game, and I'm gonna hop in, I'm gonna play it. Similar thing happened with One Piece, right? One Piece, I don't even have any product to show you because we sell out of it instantly, we can't get any of it. But people are interested in it, and so you have to take this initial risk. And this is why a lot of stores back away. But you have to take this initial risk. And the biggest risk is spreading yourself too thin. And this is something I've learned, is that you can't do every single card game that you want to do when people come in. We don't do a lot of the Bandai games like Dragon Ball Super, that kind of stuff. We don't do a lot of that because I don't know it, I don't love it. And my thing on the channel, you've heard me say this before, my thing is, if I don't sell this, if this game goes to crap and I don't sell it, would I enjoy it just as a person, just to crack it open and have fun? That's kind of the risk level I'm willing to take. I'm willing to take a risk on product as long as it's something that at the end of the day, I or an employee of mine is like, hey, I'll take that. I want that. It's fun. It seems interesting. That's worth it to the risk. Because to me, it says if I care about it enough to just crack it open and to enjoy it for what it is as a loss, then somebody's going to care about it enough to invest in it and to hop into the game. And that's worked out pretty well for me. So I think the biggest thing that prevents stores from crossing this barrier is this idea that they grew up loving Magic the Gathering. A lot of store owners, it's amazing, most stores in the country come from the roots of Magic the Gathering. And they don't want to take the risk. They don't want to hop in on the new Disney game. But the fact is that more and more people are asking for these games. Whatnot streamers. It's amazing. I've been talking to some Whatnot streamers and some people just trying to build relationships as a store owner and that kind of thing. Nobody wants Magic. Nobody wants Pokemon. Everybody can get that stuff. What they want is Lorcana, in his Star Wars, and his, in my neck of the woods, sorcery. That's what they want because that's what the consumers on the other end are asking for as well. And more people are branching out into a second card game. They're playing Commander at home or at stores with their friends, but the competitive element of their game, the time when they are going to stores and playing one-on-one formats, more and more is turning into these other card games. So if you own a business, if you own an LGS, I stress to you, I think this is part of the model moving forward. I think previously you didn't need to have another card game. I think now you need to have at least one other revenue stream card game that works for you. I think my encouragement to you would be pick one that somebody in your store is really interested in, that they can champion. They can be the person that helps you run the events and helps teach people how to play. Shout out to Donald at my store who is that for Lorcana. That is what happens. Shout out to Cole who is that for Star Wars here. And it works because they are passionate about it and they share that passion with other people, and that is what helps grow the community. So find a game that somebody else in your store is excited about, and then take the plunge. That would be my suggestion. Now, if you run a TCG player store or something where you're cracking packs to sell things, this is also a huge market because there's not as many people doing this for Lorcana and Star Wars and sorcery. I'm just using those three as an example. If you can get product of One Piece, do it for One Piece. If there's another card game you love that you think this works for, do it for that. For my take though, these are the three games that I really like here at our store. Singles, there's just not as many people to compete with in these other avenues, and there are so many customers. There's so many people building decks and trying to find the singles and wanting people to crack open boxes because they can't find boxes locally. So they're going to TCG Player, they're going to the online marketplaces to buy cards and finish their decks. And this has created a really cool avenue and ecosystem for the, I would call them prosumer, who is cracking open packs and selling on TCG Player, there is a huge market for these games. The EV of a Star Wars box, the EV of a Lorcana box, the EV of Sorcery Beta boxes, maybe not now anymore, but previously, has been positive. It has been positive EV to buy a box at whatever MSRP is, crack it open and sell the singles. It has been positive historically. So I think there's a market for that too from a prosumer perspective who is running maybe like a TCG Player business on the side and that kind of thing. And then the last thing as a player, and this is for me, this is the last domino to fall, and this is starting to happen locally. The players who miss the modern, we have not been able to get, we're starting to work on a little bit of a modern crowd. I'm excited for that at our store. I really want to see that pop off and start growing here in Taze Valley. But the people who miss that from their past, who used to play in competitive Magic events at LGSs, they're starting to see Lorcana firing every week and Star Wars firing every week and people excited, and they're starting to say, hey, listen, I can't go anywhere that plays modern. It's not firing in our area. It's not, those things aren't firing. They're starting to come over to the Star Wars, to the Lorcana, and starting to play that stuff because they can play and scratch the itch of a competitive TCG. Of a more competitive TCG that fires. I'm not saying Magic isn't competitive. I'm not saying Lorcana is a more competitive TCG. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the events are firing so they get to scratch the itch of a one-on-one format, and that's an important thing. So if you are a player of these games, look into that, because there are these really robust communities forming for all these games. And if you miss that from Magic the Gathering, maybe take a step into one of these other card games and have fun with it. I'm not saying they're killing Magic. I'm not saying Magic is going anywhere. Frankly, I think Magic will pivot and we'll have to figure out a way to start getting some of these other formats back up and going again. They're already starting to try that with Standard. It's really difficult though, because it's a lot easier to play Standard on Arena and in the card prices and all that stuff. So it's a really weird mix when you have this huge online platform that a lot of people hop in. It changes the dynamic quite a bit. So let me know what your thoughts are on the changing ecosystem. I think it has already changed. I think there is inherent risks with new card games, but at the end of the day, I think the bigger risk is not getting involved with them at all. From a business side and even from a consumer side, I think there's a lot of wins to have. Let me know in the comment section what you think. If you're interested in talking about all these games, hop into the Discord server at KitchenTableTCG.com, where you can also get access. You can be a blue wizard and support the channel. It's just $5 a month. Don't do it through Discord. Do it on the mobile app. The mobile app will charge you more. But if you do it on your desktop, it's $5 a month to be a blue wizard, and you get access to discounts on our live streams and our breaks when we do that. And if you want to be a gold wizard, you can get access to product at distro cost that is readily available and restockable product. And that's $20 a month to hop into that gold tier on Discord. So have yourself a great day. Be kind to the people around you. We'll see you again next video.